Good morning. I now call the April 7th, 2026 Neighborhood Partners Fund Board meeting to order. Has this meeting been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the Nevada open meeting law?
Yes, Chair, it has.
Thank you so much. We can now move on to the roll call. And I do want to note, I know that at least one person is going to be late, so can we mark them present when they arrive?
Yes, Chair, I will. Chair Becker,
Here.
Vice Chair Tramp, excused. Member Flank,
Here.
Member Lindsay,
Here.
Member Churchill, excused. Member Laris, excused. Member Lascano, excused. Member Estrada,
Here.
Member Goodsell, Member Wong, Member Trevino, Member Tahahe, I'm sorry, Chair. Thank you. You have a quorum.
Thank you so much. All right, we can move on to item 3 on the agenda for public comment. Comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, please come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. Do I see anyone here for public comment? All right, seeing none, I will close item 3 and move on to item 4. Today, we will be hearing presentations on the Neighborhood Partners Fund Board Grant Program, applications submitted by the Huntridge Neighborhood Association, Lakeside Village Homeowners Association, Manetta Lane Homeowners Association, Mayfair Neighborhood Association, Palomino Gardens Homeowners Association, the Rainbow Family Park Homeowners Association, Rock Springs Vista 3 Homeowners Association, Westside Community Neighborhood Association, and Winchester Maintenance Corporation. And so our first presenter today is going to be the Huntridge Neighborhood Association. Do we have someone from Huntridge here? Excellent. So you can take a seat at the table there and state your name. If you have anything to hand to us, you can give it to the city employees. Otherwise, you may begin when you're ready. And you'll have 5 minutes and then 5 more minutes for questions after.
Okay. My name is Kelly Wallace. I'm the president of the Huntridge Neighborhood Association.
And I'm Ashley Lee with the Crestwood Neighborhood Association. Hi again, here to support Kelly.
So you have heard this presentation a couple times already. We are collaborating with 2 different neighborhoods for this grant, and it's going to be a joint day of action. Let me see here. But before we get to that, I just wanted to show some success projects that Huntridge has had. The first one was a party in Circle Park, which we also brought in Crestwood. So that was the first time that the neighbors had kind of collaborated, and it was really awesome. And then the next one, we had a plant party. We collaborated with Mayfair. We had Norm Schilling, and people got free plants and trees, and it was really great. So we've had a record of successfully executing these grants. So this one will be totally new because we have Crestwood and Hillside Heights collaborating with us. Mayfair was actually going to, but they are applying for something else. So it's really cool because this is the first time we've got like 3 neighborhoods working together. And it's going to be a day of action, and it has 3 phases. So the first one is going to be dog waste stations that we want to install, and they're going to be made by a local artist from Beverly Green. So we're going to spend time installing those. And then the second phase is a day of action for cleaning the neighborhoods. This is all still kind of vague because it's so far out, but we're going to work with the neighborhoods and decide how we want to go about cleaning and whatnot. And then after the cleaning, we're going to have a big party at Circle Park. So like I said, here's the dog stations. These are what the stations will look like. Randy Mendre lives in Beverly Green, and he makes these really cool sculptures. And then the cleanup, and the volunteers that come to clean will get a wristband for the event later that evening. And we'll have ways for people that can't make it to the cleaning to get a wristband too. And then, so Huntridge in this, between the three of the neighborhoods, we're kind of leading the charge for the live performances and volunteer food. So we've got some, again, we haven't booked anyone yet because we don't have a date yet, but we have, you know, ideas of who to book, and we've got food vendors that have committed. Old Manny's, Yukon Pizza, the Cookie Bar, and we've got some DJs. So it's just going to be a really fun event at the park to celebrate all the neighborhoods coming together and the cleanup and the dog waste stations, and it's just going to be really, really cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been really nice to see all of your connected
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. Actually, a lot of us have known each other for a really long time, and I don't know why we haven't collaborated together more. So this is really cool to kind of see it come to fruition.
Thank you. Are there any questions from board members? Yes, go ahead.
Board Member Estrada, can you explain the donation amount, please? I'm seeing from the Hunt Ridge, the 501c.
Which one are you asking about?
Donation 1, 2, and 3.
No, if I can see what you're looking at. Oops.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, sorry.
Is there a way to put it on the screen? I can't see what you're looking at, but I know there's some in-kind donations from the sculptor, Randy Mendray, and from the Friends of Huntridge Park, which is a nonprofit that is run by Freddie from Crestwood. Do you have a specific question about it, or?
Well, basically the amount is 4,500. So I don't see it in the in-kind donations.
Is there a way to put it up on the screen, or?
This is Chair Becker. I'm not sure. I can read what it says here because I think what Member Estrada is looking at is there's 3 documents that show donation pledges from Friends of Huntridge Park. The one I'm looking at says $1,500 from Alexander Stabler. And then, apologies. Do you have the second one up? Okay. The second one is also $1,500. Apologies. I think it adds up to $4,500. So there's 3 $1,500 donations, it looks like, that are listed under donation 1, 2, and 3 under donation pledge letters. So I think Member Estrada is just asking, like, what is being donated. Is that what you're asking, Member Estrada?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the labor for the dog waste sculptures, that's part of what's going to be donated. And then the effort of Friends of Huntridge Park to do all the permitting and all of that sort of stuff is being donated. I'd have to look at it. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly.
This is Joaska from Neighborhood Services. I can ask her to come look at my screen.
Oh, okay.
Member Goodsell, for the record, if you look on the second document, I believe it clarifies some of it. It indicates that this donation includes event permitting, liability insurance, park access coordination, vendor network management, and day of event operations support is part of at least one of the $1,500
Okay.
in kind.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that was donation number 3 line that had that information.
Yes, so we did not upload the estimate for the sculptures, which would be 3,000 in kind, and then the 1,500 in kind would be from the Friends of Huntridge Park. So I don't know how I can adjust that, or.
Okay, this is Chair Becker. Thank you. Does that answer your question, Member Estrada?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. And then I believe there's a technical difficulty with Member Flank's computer. She's not able to log in and see the Zoom grants. Would it be acceptable for her to switch chairs to get to a different computer? And then the other question that Member Flank brought up is a permission letter to check it. So I'm going to click on that since she can't get her computer working right now. I think we just want to make sure the permission letter is there. Okay. Yes, that looks like that everything is there for that. Is that what you wanted to know?
So this is Joska from Neighborhood Services. If the board wanted to request for her to send that to me, that invoice for the estimate for the sculpture, then she's able to send that to me, and then I can send it to board.
Okay, perfect. Yes, we would request just to make sure that all the documentation for the specific amounts gets sent over, because we have our next meeting on the 20th of April, and we just want to make sure everybody has their paperwork in. So several different organizations yesterday also had some paperwork they had to send in, so not a problem there. But I think that's it for me. Are there any other members with questions? No? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
I think
you.
we're good.
Thank you so much.
Yes, have a good one. All right, so the next organization on the agenda is Lakeside Village Homeowners Association. All right, great. Feel free to come up to the table, make yourself comfortable. You can introduce yourself, and if you have things to hand out, a staff member can get that to us. And then once we're ready to go, you can begin when you're ready, and you'll have 5 minutes to present, and then we'll have 5 minutes for questions.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marty Ferraro. I'm from Lakeside Village. I'm one of the HOA board members. And we made a packet to tell you what we're looking for. We are looking to update our community monument signs outside the community entrance. Currently, they say the wrong thing. They say Brookview. We're Lakeside Village, so we have everything in this package that you'll want to see, what the new signs will look like for the grant usage. There'll be 2 new signs that'll replace the one Brookview sign, which will be removed. We're looking to refresh our pool decking. Currently, it's not cool decking. It's very hot to walk on. They submitted the bids to do that. We're also looking to refresh the rock on our outside entrance. As you see in the pictures, the black underlayment is showing through, so we want to have that refreshed so it makes a nicer look. We have a wonderful community. We have a lot of volunteers. Many people in the community volunteer on our projects that we do. Recently, we did our outside gates. We repainted them. Many volunteers. You'll see in the pictures all the volunteers that came to do it. We do stucco repairs on the pool housing. We clear pine cones. Whatever needs to be done, we do the gutters. We sweep them for easy pickup. And we bag that up. There's more pictures of volunteers here. We built a community library with our last grant. We laid a cement foundation, plus we put up a metal library where it's take a book, leave a book, and that's all done with volunteers. We have security cameras on that, and that works out real nice. We love to get the grant to benefit our community, and that's about everything else that we're looking for right now. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Board members with questions?
Member Goodsell, for the record. I just have a question for you regarding your reserve studies. I'm over here. They put the other end.
that end.
I'm the outcast.
Okay.
I need a little sign. I just have a query about your reserve studies as an HOA. Do you have reserves to, sufficient reserves to maintain these common areas, or are you?
Yes.
So
Yes,
are you using any of the reserve
Yes,
funds?
we're going to match the fund, whatever, if we get the $10,000 grant, we'll be putting 10,000 in as well out of our reserve.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, thank you.
And that's through Taylor Management.
Thank you. This is
you.
Chair Becker. Can I request that we take a very brief recess until we can get Member Flank onto Zoom grants, because she has some questions and she can't get into the computer.
Yeah, we can.
Thank
This
you.
is
Yes.
Jessica.
Can we get a city staff member to try to figure this out? Thank you.
What do you need? Thank you very much.
Okay, this is Chair Becker. We can be back in order. I apologize. The computers all worked correctly yesterday, so I believe Member Flank has a question about the project budget.
Thank you. The question I had about the project budget, it had to do with the board donation, which is 55. 80. Is that a cash donation that's coming directly from your HOA?
Yes,
Oh, okay. And it was approved and signed by your club president,
our board, yes.
Curtis is his name?
Curtis Fietner, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Also, in your presentation, it said something about a name change.
Yes, that's on the monument signs out in front. Currently, it says the wrong
Brookview.
thing. It's on here. It says Brookview,
Brookview.
which was one of the original names when it was created back in the late 80s. And the actual name is Lakeside Village, so we want to replace with 2 new signs, one on each end of the circular driveway, so people don't get confused. They're looking for Lakeside, they pull in and they see this Brookview, and it makes no sense to them.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of familiar with that area. How big is your community? Because you had a map in there. I was just kind of wondering, how big is the community?
It's 89 homes,
89.
3 streets.
And it will be 2 signs, correct?
2 signs in the
One on
front.
each side.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Still. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other board member questions? Member Wong?
Hi, I'm Board Member Wong. So I'm looking at your donations pledge letter, and I do see the $700 signed off by Curtis Vitret for professional services. But you had mentioned earlier that the HOA would match the grant amount for
Right.
$10,000, but I don't see that in your paperwork. Is it in there?
No, Curtis was in charge of that. He's on the board as well. But if we were to be given the grant for 10,000, we were told we would need to spend 10,000 with volunteer hours plus money.
Oh,
And it was
so the
approved by Taylor.
10,000 is not a 10,000 cash donation match. That also consists of the volunteer hours.
It does, thank you.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
No problem.
Excuse me, Councilmember Goodsell for the record. So just by way of clarification, how many dollars are you anticipating will actually be used out of your reserve studies for this project?
Probably about 6,500 to 7,000.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, any other member questions? Yes, go ahead.
Board Member Estrada, can the board request a pledge letter for that amount? We currently don't have a pledge letter for the cash donation.
Okay, I will see Curtis when I get back, and I will get one at our next board meeting.
Joska Neighborhood Services, if you can send that to me, right here. Hi. If you
I'm
can
looking
send-
all-
No, I know. If you could send that to me as soon as possible, then I will let the board know once I've received it.
Okay. Where do I get your information from?
I'll give it to you right now.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Seeing no more questions, I think that's it. Thank you so much for your presentation. And yeah, just work with Yohaska to get those things in, and then we will see you in a couple weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. And so our next homeowners association we'll be seeing is the Manetta Lane Homeowners Association. Thank you. Oh yeah, you can go with Yohaska.
Okay.
Thank you so
very much for your time.
Yes, have a good day. And then for Manetta Lane, if you have anything that you would like handed out, you can give it to staff. Otherwise,
Everything was in the presentation that I submitted.
perfect. Okay.
These are my don't forget stuff.
Excellent. You can take a seat there, introduce yourself for the record, and then you'll have 5 minutes to present and 5 minutes for questions. And just a reminder, before anyone speaks, if you say your name for the record, it makes it easier when they take
Understood,
notes.
thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Richard Bowles, and I'm here to do the presentations for Manetta Lane's entry gate safety and security project. I'm the project manager. I also function as a board member for the community as well. As stated, in all the information's been provided, sorta. We are in Ward 5. We were established around 1999, year 2000. We're at the intersection of North Michael Way and Vegas Drive, and we have 90 units. The entry gate safety and security project is intended to enhance both the safety and security of our community. Currently, the system that we have is over a quarter century old. It hasn't been updated, and we've basically been putting bubble gum and spit on it to keep it together. And it's been subject to quite a bit of abuse in that period. I have photos, or perhaps you've already seen it, to demonstrate that. Access codes right now are have proliferated way beyond the community member. We've had a lot of turnover. Our demographics have changed. And in particular, what's very disturbing and what presents a liability for the community is that we've had kids that have somehow, not living in the neighborhood, but kids who have obtained the access codes and come in and use our pool. And of course, the liability, if it's not obvious, is tremendous in that respect if they get injured or worse. So part of this intent of the project is to mitigate that. We harbor no illusions that we're going to totally eliminate unauthorized access, but we're certainly hoping to mitigate it. And there are no control mechanisms currently in place at the system's point to where we can control access. And this system hopes to alleviate that and correct that. The system that we are hoping to put in place is capable of recording photos and videos of the individuals who are attempting to access the community. That's something that we do not have the capacity to do right now. We're also going to be able to monitor the frequency of individual access. The reason why that's important is that if we have someone's code being used 10, 20 times during a day, it's a cause for concern for us. Normally, in the normal course of business, people do not have to go in and out of the community on average that many times a day, and we can possibly look at it and see if there's something going on. Maybe there's other complaints that have come in from the neighboring units that we need to address. In addition, the new system enables us to disable access codes. So as I will point out in the next slide, we have a magic code, and the magic code, as we've come to find out, belonged to a vendor who no longer works for us. And just about everybody has it. Myself, on a personal level, I came in one evening, my battery on my remote entry died, and I was out there on the keypad, and my code wouldn't work. Well, this truck pulled in behind me, and the kind gentleman got out and he says, "Oh, just press, the code." And I pressed it, and I got in, and I'm all like, I wonder if that guy even lives here. But so anyway, when we see activity like that, we're going to be able to disable the code, or if we change vendors, for example, go from one landscaper to another for whatever reason, we can basically eliminate that code without, any trouble and with the maximum efficiency. And again, these control mechanisms are intended to deter unauthorized entry. A unique feature to this project is that all of the community members are going to be involved in the quality control aspect of it. What we've done differently this time is that we've identified and asked for individuals living in the respective buildings. We have 15 buildings on the property. These people by nature are kind of social butterflies, so they kind of tend to get around and meet people. And they will take the lead in speaking with the other people in their building to ensure that they are able to access the community using the new system. But not only that, we're going to be able to rely upon them when there is residential turnover, which happens. We do have a number of rental units, and that transaction isn't necessarily brought to our attention right away. And by having these building leads in place, we can have, a channel put in place to where we can be informed that, hey, there's been a change, even though they should have provided certain documentation already to our management company so that the directory could have been updated. This way just helps us, again, make sure that we're enabling access to the individuals who should have access and not anyone else. We're not expecting the community to, or the system to have any kind of adverse impact on vendor access. In fact, the vendors will probably be the first entities that we approach with the new codes so that they have them, make sure they work, make sure our trash is being picked up, make sure that the landscaping is being done, the pool service is being performed, make sure all that's being taken care of, so we don't expect any kind of disruption with those services to the community. What you're looking at now is we have a friend called Google, and on the left-hand image you see there, that's our community right there. There's 15 buildings in a clubhouse. The street you see is North Michael Wade going north. The center area that's highlighted to the right is where of course, the gate entry system is going to be put in place. We are looking to put in this Accent M8, which is made by Security Brands Incorporated. It has a number of features, the most important of which to us right now anyway have been highlighted. Enables video representation of the people trying to get in. So if a resident is having a guest over, or perhaps they needed to call a plumber for an internal plumbing issue, they can make sure that the person that they're going to be letting in is indeed who they say that they are. Beyond that, if, for example, we have a unit that is doing some kind of renovation work and they need to have a vendor come in to perform that work, and it's going to take place over a series of days, we can give them a guest pass. And that way we know that the vendor for that particular unit is coming in at that particular point. And, that we, because I talked earlier about having access 10, 20 times a day, we're going to look at that and kind of wonder if something's going on. If we see that that's been issued to a guest.
Thank you. This is Chair Becker. I'm sorry to interrupt, but we're over the time.
Oh, my goodness.
Apologies. And I think that we need to ask a couple questions.
Okay, yeah.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah,
okay, so I had a few questions, and I think a couple other folks do as well.
Okay.
So for this system, it looks like you're using Battleborn Access Systems.
We are,
Is that
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a concern about who's going to have access to the video that's available through this, because on your volunteer hours pledge sheet, it looks like, as you mentioned, every person in the community is listed as an hour each, or some of them are two, for quality control. Does that mean that everyone listed here is going to have access to the video from this system?
No. In the case where you have an individual unit that is requesting certain work, for example, that the video recording is going on the cloud. The board, the management company, will be the only ones that actually have access to that particular video.
Okay, and the board management company, sorry, Chair Becker, for the record, the board management company is elected board members?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And then are you working with Metro? Because it sounds like you've had in the past people coming in and using your facilities without permission. Has there been an issue in the past where Metro's gotten involved, to issue trespasses to any of these people, or?
Yes, there has been. What we have lacked is the ability to provide proof. So it's basically come down to an eyewitness account, and a number of people are reluctant to step forward with that.
Got it. Okay, thank you. I think that's it for me. Do we have other members with questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Member Goodsell, for the record, I actually have several questions.
Sure.
You have over 80 people that you're counting as hours for quality control.
Correct.
Will these people be trained, or are they just, according to your presentation, it was they're going to speak with people in their 15 buildings and get information back to the board? But what kind of quality are you controlling with these with these volunteers specifically?
To make sure that the system's actually working. For example, the building leads will enable or ensure that everybody in their particular building has been able to use the system to access the community. If there's an issue with that, then of course they'll bring it to our attention. We'll take it to the gate company, Battleborn, and we will investigate whatever the problem might be. But, as far as specific training, the system is really not that different operationally from what we have in place. What's going to change is that we're working to get away from having to issue, fobs and so forth. And because I talk too much, I missed being able to present that. But they're basically, it's going to be app operated by people's cell phone.
Okay, so the quality control isn't really a trained quality control, it's just neighborhood consideration. Do
Yeah.
they have access to the board, to access the board directly, a homeowner? Do they have to go through these people, one of the 81 peoples in the community, if they have a problem?
They'll track us down. If they're unable to do that, they'll go through the management company.
Okay, and then because this is an existing asset, do you have funds in your reserve studies to actually pay for this?
In the event you find it within your infinite wisdom not to give us any money, it's going to be paid for entirely out of our reserves. The operational expenses will be paid for out of our operating account.
Okay, so this would still go forward if you're not granted. Will there be any matching funds? So I didn't see any cash matching funds. It looks like there's just a large buildup of quality control volunteers to meet the volunteer and donations.
Yeah, basically the cash match is coming from the reserve and operating accounts from the community.
What cash match? I didn't see any cash match.
I use that figuratively, meaning that, we're putting forth the money ourselves, the community is, in order to have this unit installed. Any money we receive from the Neighborhood Partners Fund will, reduce that amount, but basically we're paying for it out of pocket.
Okay. And so just write this down. Nope, you've answered all my questions. Thank you.
Okay.
Member Flank. A quick question right here.
Oh, yeah, right in front of me, of
It's
course.
okay.
Yeah.
Going through your application, I didn't see an invoice from Battleborn.
No one has that? They submitted a proposal. It was under the worksheet, the project budget worksheet.
I see.
An actual invoice estimate from Battleborn. We do have the information on the cost sheet, but nothing from Battleborn.
Yeah, because according to our interpretation as to how this process works, no work can commence until a decision's been made. So therefore, no work's been performed for them to submit an invoice for.
Well, did they provide an estimate?
Yeah, that's what you're looking at in the
But
the
it's
budget
not
worksheet.
from Battleborn. It is the estimate sheet that's required by the city that you filled out.
This is Chair Becker. I think I can clarify. In addition to this sheet, do you have an estimate from Battleborn that lists this price that has that's from them on their
Oh, yeah,
paper?
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So what we would ask is that
Yeah,
you
that's where those figures derive from.
perfect. We would just ask that you submit that to Yohaska, and then it will be uploaded into this system so that we can see that. And it doesn't have to be, the final bill. It can just be the estimate from Battleborn.
Yeah, the only issue that we had with Battleborn on this was that they included the sales tax on there, and that was omitted from the budget worksheet. So that will be on the document that you receive, but we did not include it on the budget
That's
worksheet.
fine. So on that estimate from Battleborn, does it include install costs and?
That is install cost, yes. That's the unit and the install cost.
Okay.
Is she done? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Matthew Tramp for the record. I'm also my condo unit's using the same method too, so I understand the process. You can probably explain to me later on that it's the FOBO system. Does your pool also have gated entry too? It's not open, correct?
Okay, and again, I talk too much, but
That's okay.
what the system's going to enable us to do, we're not doing that right now, but what the system will enable us to do will be to expand it. If you look on the screen real quick, you'll see that it can incorporate the pedestrian gate and the pool access gate as well. So we want to get this part done first, work out any bugs that may come up, and then we'll look at expanding it to cover the pool and the pedestrian gates as well.
Okay, so you're gonna do that in another phase, because
Correct,
I can
yeah.
tell you, when you mentioned the pool, that's a big thing,
Yeah.
because with the FABO system, only the residents have the access on their cell phone. They can't give it out to guests. You register. I'm assuming under this system that you register an email address or a phone number.
Correct.
And just like with our system too, like vendors or, of course, you're not condos, you're homeowners. People can register a time period for vendors or
Correct.
to come in, so it would expire too,
Correct.
or you can set a certain time date
Correct.
too, like ours. So yeah, this is the new updated system. Yeah, we're doing it ourselves, so
Yeah,
I think this is a
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah, like I say, we're not doing the pool right now, but this gives us the capacity to expand.
Okay.
All right, thank you. We have a quick, oh wait, Member Estrada hasn't had a chance to ask a question yet.
Member Estrada,
Yes, sir.
does the existing system have internet?
No.
So you have to get new internet for that location?
Yeah, that's part of the ongoing expenses that we're going to be covering out of the operating budget. That's not in any way part of this proposal.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a picture of our current call box. It's 25 years old.
Okay, in the interest of time, this can be our last question.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Member Goodsell for the record. Just a quick question. Has the board addressed any video retention policy? Because you will be required to have a video retention policy now that this has video on it. Have you as a board addressed that? How long you hold on to it, where it will be held in a secure place? Have you addressed any of those issues in regards to this?
No, we have not.
Okay.
No, we did not. There's the abuse I talked about earlier. As you can see, the box kind of got knocked over. And had we had video capabilities, we might have been able to determine who did it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Yeah, please feel free to submit Battleborn's invoice or estimate.
Yeah, the
and then-
original invoice, sure.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Thank you so much for your time. Have a
Okay,
good rest
thank you
of
for your
day.
time.
Yes. All right. Our next association is the Mayfair Neighborhood Association. Hi, you can feel free to sit down there, introduce yourselves, and begin when you are ready. You'll have 5 minutes and then 5 minutes for questions.
My name is Jennifer Montrestel. I'm the project lead for this project in Mayfair.
And I'm Kevin King, the president of the Neighborhood Association for Mayfair.
So we would like to get some neighborhood signs similar to the other historic neighborhoods downtown, like Huntridge, Crestwood. I know they're working on theirs, things like that. There's been a big effort to revitalize our neighborhood in the past recent year with Metro and Ward 3. So small signs, but this will have a big impact on our neighborhood. Mayfair, we're one of the historic neighborhoods downtown. We're located near Fremont East. We encompass Charleston. Fremont Street runs through us all the way down to Stewart Ave. We have a rich history with strong community roots, but we currently lack a defined visual identity, especially for being so close to Fremont East. Up here, you can see this is our actual map of our neighborhood. To the west, you have 15th, Charleston, Bruce. Like I said, that's Fremont Street running through us down to Stewart. So those are our neighborhood borders in Mayfair. This was just something I found online. I thought it was interesting. It was an ad for the first homes being sold in our area. We were established in 1941, so that's just a neat little thing I found. We also have a park in our neighborhood for the children. So we're really working on getting our neighborhood to be a little more family friendly. And like I said, we've been working with Metro and Ward 3 on a lot of different things to kind of bring us, where we need to be. Like I said, there's no clear neighborhood branding. We are right next to Fremont East. We can walk there. Visitors and residents may not recognize the area. It's a missed opportunity to kind of connect to the downtown revitalization that's going on in the area, especially the Arts District down Charleston and everything going on in Fremont. The solution, neighborhood signs. We want to install custom designed neighborhood signs just as the other historic neighborhoods around us have. They'll be placed on the street utility poles, designed in a vintage mid-century modern Las Vegas style, clean and recognizable. So unlike the other neighborhoods, I know like John S. Park, Beverly Green, they have their mid-century modern homes on their signs. Our neighborhood was built the same time as Huntridge and, I'm sorry, I can't think of the name of the other neighborhood. But anyway, we have smaller size houses. We don't have that, historic looking mid-century modern house. So that wasn't a good fit for what we wanted for our signs. So we were thinking more along the lines of a neighborhood symbol. I've lived in a couple other cities, and we kind of took this from what we've seen in other neighborhoods in these other cities where they had neighborhood symbols. The symbol that we chose was the lizard. It represents regeneration, survival, adaptation. Like I said, we're in like a rebranding phase of our neighborhood. It also connects to the desert environment, and we think it would be a unique thing, a memorable identity for our area. This is a rough draft of what our designer is working on. There's going to be some tweaks, and we're also going to have a couple different revisions for our neighborhood to vote on in the next coming weeks. But just to kind of give you guys an idea, because we say lizard and you're like, huh? But this is what it would look like, similar. This is what we're leaning towards. And you have the Las Vegas, the Starburst, the Strat, things like that. We feel like this is going to build community pride. It creates the shared neighborhood identity. Residents have pride and ownership in their home, strengthens connection, and will promote engagement. We want to use this symbol. Like we said, we have that park. There's other areas we can start creating murals, things like that. So this is the road that we're going down. We think it'll have a good impact on downtown and Fremont East. It'll enhance the visual appeal of the area, connects with that Fremont East energy. Fremont is cool, it's weird, it's funky. That we're right next door, we want to be the same. Like I said, we can also walk to Fremont East, so this would encourage walkability because you feel like you're in a neighborhood walking. It just, it encompasses everything and supports the revitalization that we've been working on. So in conclusion, small investment, big impact. We're really trying to get, people to know where Mayfair is, who Mayfair is, like our other, neighbors around us downtown. And it's a symbol of the neighborhood's future. So that's all I got.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being on time. I just had a quick note. This is Chair Becker. In Zoom grants, this is listed as $10,000 as well, but you're asking for $3,000. Is that correct?
Yeah, when I started the application, I had absolutely no idea what this would cost. And then I spoke to some people in Huntridge. Kevin reached out to them as well, their neighborhood leaders, and they gave us the vendor list. And then I reached out to them and like, oh no, like $2,700. So I think we requested $3,000. So I did revise that, but I don't know if it reflected properly.
Okay, perfect.
In the application.
I just wanted that to be on the record because in Zoom grants, sometimes it doesn't reflect the amount.
Okay.
So it's $3,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions from board members? Go ahead.
Member Goodsell, for the record, I'm over to your left.
Oh, okay.
Way, come on down. I just had a query as to who would be installing these.
I was told Public Works would.
Public
that
Works.
They've done it for those other neighborhoods.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We're looking at something real quick, so hold
Okay.
one moment. This is Chair Becker. I just wanted to make note, you do have all your volunteer hours on the pledge sheet here, but in Zoom grants, that like sheet that shows the volunteer hours where it's highlighted in blue is not reflecting this number, but I see that you do have the volunteer
We revised it, so after speaking to Yahaska, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, but we had to make a couple revisions. I had misinterpreted something, so I did submit that to her.
Joska Neighborhood Services, so she did submit revisions, and I have it uploaded on her profile in Zoom grants. I'm assuming that maybe the board members aren't able to see it. So I'm gonna, are you able to see it? Oh, perfect. So it should be under administrative documents. Any revised, anything added is gonna be under there.
Perfect, we see it, and I think that's it, unless anybody has any other questions. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks.
All righty, so we are moving along. The next organization we have on the list is Palomino Gardens Homeowners Association. Hi, welcome. You can feel free to get settled at the desk, and then you can introduce yourselves and begin when you are ready. And you'll have 5 minutes to present and then 5 minutes for questions.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Desiree Bruni with Palomino Gardens Homeowner Association, and this is our HOA president here, Art Nathan. So I can just start. So a little bit about us. We are a small 15-home community located here off Palomino and Rancho. We are a very close-knit community that take great pride in knowing one another, having community events and gatherings, and kind of the spirit of our whole community is that we take great pride in our neighborhood, and that's kind of what makes us sort of a meaningful area and a connection with one another in our community. So if you guys are familiar with PGHA, we've had a really nice relationship with the NPF. We've had been so fortunate to have several grants in prior years that we've used for several improvements throughout our community. Oh, thank you. Including in 2018, we resurfaced the loop in our neighborhood that needed to be addressed from deteriorating pavement, potholes, and everything that was going throughout. In 2019, we installed new lighting posts throughout our neighborhood that really added to visibility, safety, and also the beautification. More recently, we were able to enhance some of our mature landscaping with our grant, and then lately we also addressed our community park and added much more enhancements that improved both security and safety for our residents. So as you'll see, there's been a pattern of well thought out funding that we've utilized for our neighborhood that included functionality, appearance, and safety that's really continued to help both our guests and our residents of our neighborhood. And so we're very excited about this year. We were able to address more of those similar concerns for our neighborhood. So in the past years, we kind of just included some photos of some of our past projects I wanted to be able to show you guys. So those are our lampposts, some of the improvements that we did to our park, including lighting. We added some much needed irrigation systems to the park area and our basketball court that our neighborhood loves to use, and then also included some security that was much needed for the commercial area that we back to at our park, and then adding a community garden and a few other items. So for this project, we identified this. It's been on our list for quite a while. We have a very old analog 30-year-old entry gate system that just isn't servicing our needs anymore. But more recently, in this last year especially, we've had some concerns about security and safety of our guests and residents. So this is something that both our board and our residents have brought forward as something that we wanted to address this year. So this would help just improve our controlled access, but also create a stronger sense of security for our residents in our neighborhood. So our existing gate shack is located off Palomino. We have that very old analog system, as I mentioned. It's very dark at night. There's not great lighting. And then our existing cameras are not on any sort of cloud-based system. They're just on a local 30-day loop that's directly in our guard shack. So if any review of cameras needs to be done, Art goes down there, unlocks it, and has to review it right there on the computer that's in the guard shack. So the system just doesn't kind of serve our residents or guests or any of us kind of very well at the moment. And so this is something that we wanted to be able to improve for everyone, and mostly really the safety and security of everybody. And with that also kind of including some of the lighting and everything that goes kind of around the whole safety of the area.
If you'll notice the existing gate entry system, it is an analog. It's just a phone system. It calls you and you can hardly hear it anymore. And what we want to install is one that has a camera, because we've had homeless people who just go out there and punch every button hoping somebody will let them in. And the new systems have cameras that you can see who's trying to enter. And our residents have asked for something like this to improve our security.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as Art mentioned, this would be installing a new digital entry intercom system that would both allow internet connectivity, because right now also our analog system does not dial out to certain phone numbers that are long distance. So then this would also allow for better cloud-based access for our cameras that are existing, as well as obviously the entry system. So the biggest benefit would be to allow the camera viewing of our entry requests so that we can better monitor and manage the access into our community. And then obviously another part of the improvement would be the lack of visibility, and then the entrance, especially at night with the lighting. And together these improvements would just create a more functional and secure and better lit entry for the experience of our neighborhood guests and residents. So the impact obviously would just enhance the security and safety of our entire community. It allows better control and access of the visitors coming in, as well as vendors, deliveries, and then together these just strengthen the overall sense of security for our neighborhood. Our proposed timeline is that this is just going to be a one-time project while we continue to make improvements throughout our neighborhood. This is kind of a standalone item. So it's going to include the new digital intercom system, bringing internet to that guard shack, and installing the new digital system and wiring the cameras to the internet. And so it's a very practical upgrade and meaningful to all of us for our 15 homes. And we plan to move very quickly once we're funded. We want to start work this summer, and then that would include getting the vendors scheduled right away, and then planning to transition the residents in the new system by the end of summer into early fall. So our project team is led by myself as our NPF volunteer, and then Art, our president, he's been doing a lot of the early work also with myself for this presentation. And then with that, we have a lot of our board is on board with being part of this, and then we have several residents that are volunteering. So they've already been involved in some of the planning and vendor coordination, and then we have resident outreach and documentation through the process that people are going to be involved in. So as it moves forward, we'll have our volunteers continue to support communication, installation coordination, and follow through. So this reflects a strong neighborhood participation in both planning and the implementation of these funds. So our funding request was for the full $10,000 when we were originally putting this together, but our minimum is the $9,100 for just the intercom. We did want to add some lighting, as I mentioned, into that front area, and one of kind of the main ones was bringing the internet to the guard shack was something that is going to be something that's involved with both the vendor that's installing, but we need to coordinate obviously with local internet provider. So that was still one of those items that we were trying to nail down the bid on that. So we're requesting the funding that would just be very meaningful for our neighborhood, and it really includes updating our outdated system. And for such a small community for ours, it makes a really big impact for us, both this project but also the funding, as without it, it's something that I don't know that our neighborhood would be able to do in the near future. So we're just very thankful for the NPF and your guys' past support of us, and this future support, hopefully, that we can get this current project underway. And if we're awarded, we want to move very quickly and get this much needed safety upgrade for our neighborhood right away. So thank you very much for your time and consideration.
It's good to be president.
Thank you so much for the presentation. This is Chair Becker. I just wanted to make a quick note. I really appreciate that you included pictures from the last projects, because in Zoom grants, sometimes the full applicant history isn't available for us to see. So I appreciated that you included that. Are there any questions from members for Palomino? You want to start? Okay.
And Matthew Tramp for the record. So you have the reserve funds already appropriated for this project?
Yeah, so we have part of our monthly dues getting put towards this as well. So that's obviously something Art can talk a little bit more about.
We do have a reserve fund.
Okay, and you've got already the money set aside, or expecting the revenue to come in? Okay. And also, I saw you're going to LED, which is a smart move we did recently in my complex too. So as for the entry gate, will this be a FABU system? Am I pronouncing that right? follow, but it's where you use your phone
Yes.
key. So
Yeah,
that's what-
Butterfly and LiftMaster both support mobile.
so they advise, so you're, because that's the most updated. It's a lot more, I think it's a more safety efficient, it's more efficient. to-
Yeah, and it's also
Okay.
nice because I think also with that you can pre-approve a guest too that's coming, which is also
Yeah, you can
much more
monitor,
seamless.
like, I don't know if you saw me or what I mentioned with the previous applications. There's a lot of way you can monitor, illegal entries or so. Okay.
Just getting the picture is important because you can't understand anybody in those systems anyways. So seeing who it is will give our residents a whole lot of comfort.
Okay, thank you.
Good questions, Matt. Thank you.
Member Wong?
Yes, this is Board Member Wong. So I see on your vendor cost estimate sheet, you have the new system listed out as well as with the lighting, but I don't see the estimates backing up those amounts. Do you have that available?
Yeah, we have the quote from the Wired Up included. I didn't see anywhere to upload quotes, but I did bring that with me.
Yes, both vendors had quotes between 6,500 and 9,100, depending on the upgrades that we would get. So we brought both quotes so you can see that.
If you could just submit that.
Sure.
So that way we can see
Yeah,
it
okay.
as part of the application. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Member Flink? Was that your question? Any other questions? Member Estrada?
Board Member Estrada, do we understand that each cash donation should be on a different pledge form? Did you understand that to be true?
No, I worked with our the lady who did all of our previous ones, and so she had shown that that's how she had done over the previous years. So that's how so.
That would be a Johaska question.
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
The pledge letters, it just says, 400 times 15 or something. It doesn't have the signature of the person that, like it's supposed to be an individual pledge letter, the way I understood it.
Oh, okay. I'm Joska Neighborhood Services. I see here what you're talking about where it says cash partner 400 per homeowner. Yeah, it would be better if we got one per each homeowner because we would need their signatures for each one.
Sure. Okay.
So if you could submit that to me before deliberations, and it's totally fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions from members? I think Member Tramp has a follow-up.
Yeah, I missed this. So is that $400, was that an assessment fee that you added on, or these people just volunteered to donate the $400?
Yeah, that was something from each homeowner that basically through, especially in the last year with the security issues that we've had, that was basically each homeowner has decided that we would do an even amount.
So it was an opt-in donate. It's not a it was an assessment fee that you put on for your, okay.
It wasn't required, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see any more questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thanks for this support. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. We appreciate, like I said, all the photos. I love to see the former projects. All righty, y'all have a good day.
Thank you too.
We are about halfway through, and I need a tiny break, so I'm gonna request that we are in recess until 10:15, if that's okay with everyone. Okay, 10:15, we'll be back. All right, we will call this meeting of the Neighborhood Partners Fund Board back to order. We have 4 more neighborhoods left to go. So the next one on the agenda is the Rainbow Family Park Neighborhood Association. Welcome. Feel free to get settled there, introduce yourselves. If you have any handouts, you can give them to city staff. Otherwise, you can get started when you're ready after you introduce yourselves. And you'll have 5 minutes and then 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Keith Thomas. I'm with the Rainbow Family Park Neighborhood Association. With me today is Margarita Allen. She's our project leader. And we're in Councilman Knudsen's district. The Rainbow Family Park Neighborhood Association is, I'll show you our boundaries here, basically between Charleston and Sahara and Buffalo and Rainbow. We have about 600 homes in our neighborhood. It's primarily half-acre homes. Our mission is primarily to enhance the residential nature, lifestyle of the Rainbow Family Park. We're just a group of concerned citizens. We're not a 501c3 or anything. We just get together and we're not a, as I say, we're not a nonprofit. We have been here before the committee at least eight times. This is our 9th presentation to the committee. We've done a number of different things over the years. A lot of it seems that the most popular things are in-person events like our Cinco de Mayo picnic. We had the trunk or treat. During COVID, we were not able to meet, so we created a website, neighborhood pole signs, and went back to in-person in 2022. And this past year, we were at one of our HOAs in the neighborhood. And we've previously sponsored these, and they seem to be the most popular things in the neighborhood. And one of the things we're trying to promote is neighborhood safety, neighborhood security, and neighbors getting out and about. So our project team is headed by Margarita Allen here. It includes our association president, Diane Harrington, me, and 2 of our other board members as well. We're all residents of the neighborhood. I won't go over all of these since you have them in your presentation. We sponsored 6 previous trunk or treat Halloween events. This past year, what we found was that our funding ran out real quick. Our food, for instance, ran out in about, 1 hour, I think, after the project started. So we were excited to see the increase in the budget this year so we could do something a little bit larger. One of the things that's been very popular are the Ring camera security systems. Everybody's interested in those, and of course getting them free is very interesting to the neighbors. And again, we'd like to encourage attendance to our meetings and our events by offering these Ring cameras. We have other things that we're trying to do to encourage members to get out, like providing hats for shade in the sun and hoodies for warmth in the winter. And also, since many in the neighborhood are out walking dogs, we want them to make sure they clean up after themselves. So we want to offer to give away dog bowls and waste bag dispensers. And one of the most popular things that we have at our meetings are USB drives, and they really help with the neighborhood identification. So looking at the funding, the food and water, and we generally get between about 100 to 125, sometimes 150. When we meet in conjunction with the Art in the Park, with Councilman Knudsen's Art in the Park there, we generally get a lot more than that. But anyway, so we've basically doubled the estimate for the food. We provide water every year, and it's every year in the past it's been cold or warm, so we're asking for money for a water cooler, just one of these pull coolers, and then of course water. And the Ring camera systems are about $2,300. Again, we use them as door prizes. They don't buy tickets or anything like this. All of this is free. And then the other items that I talked about, the caps and the hoodies, and the dog bowls and the waste bag dispensers and so on. And we'll probably have at least 1 to 2 events during the year to to do all of this. Again, the in-person events have been what the neighbors really like and what they've encouraged us to continue with. We one of the things that we do is we keep the neighbors up to date on what's happening in the area. Two of the biggest concerns, of course, this past year have been the septic system issues and the water issues. At any rate, that's our presentation. Be happy to answer any questions about it.
Thank you so much. This is Chair Becker. Thank you for the presentation. I love to see the pictures from your past events. That's really cool. I know that your neighborhood stays really involved. The one comment/question that I had is last year we had a discussion as a board about providing money for water, just from a sustainability perspective. We would like people to bring water to events, and providing money for water is something that I personally don't think that we should be doing as a board, but we had a discussion about it. It's a personal preference also for members of the board, but that's just an observation that I had. These other expenses, and I love the giveaways and door prizes. I think that those are nice uses of money, like you said, to get people to come out to the events. So are there any other board members with questions? Member Wong?
Board Member Wong right here. What is on those USB drives?
They're blank. They're empty.
Oh, so it's just for brand identification?
Yeah, it just
for the
has
neighborhood?
just has our logo on it is all.
Okay.
But there's no data on it at all.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Member Flank?
Member Goodsell, for the record, you mentioned that there are HOAs within those boundaries. Like, I think Shenley Court's in there. Are any of those HOAs involved in your planning?
Not this year. Last year one was because we held the event, on the common area for that particular HOA. But this year we're planning to do it at Rainbow Family Park.
How many HOAs are within your boundaries, your neighborhood boundary? Do you know?
I really couldn't say. There's because I know you have one for your cul-de-sac, and it seems like every little cul-de-sac has its own HOA. So we really haven't been concerned about the HOAs because, excuse me, being a neighborhood association and not for profit, we're just a group of concerned citizens that are trying to engage with everybody within our defined boundaries.
Member Flank. A quick question about the Amazon receipt that you're showing for the ring system. It shows 7, but in your application you're saying that you're going to have 4. So the amount that's showing in the shopping cart has 7 items listed.
It should be, excuse me, it should be 7, yes. And,
oh, okay. Your application says 4, so for clarity.
Yeah, we can amend that, but I believe our invoice, or everything has 7 on it. But
yes, the Amazon invoice did, but in the application where you talk about what you're doing with the ring system, she said 4 to be given away to neighborhood residents. So
it could be a typo.
Is it 7?
It should be 7.
It's 7.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
I just have one more question. So regarding those Ring alarm systems, when I went to Amazon and I pulled up the system that you had listed, it's like the highest one or the largest package. And because I noticed the amount you requested is double from previous years because it's been expanded. But was there any consideration made for getting the smaller packages so that you could give out more or to save on costs?
Excuse me, in the past we've given away I think it's a 4-piece, an 8-piece, and then the 14-piece alarm system. The 14-piece is the one that everybody wants. And again, that's, of course, but that's certainly a consideration, but we decided to go with the 14 pieces.
All right, thank you.
And ultimately, when we actually come down to the actual purchase, you know, that's generally when we'll get a discount. You know, so, you know, and excuse me, and every other year, I think we've always come in under budget. And we actually left a little bit less. I think our total this time was only about 9,900 to leave a little bit of room for any cost differences that may come up, but we've always come in less.
All right, any further questions? All right, seeing none, thank you so much for your time.
Welcome, thank you very much.
All righty, you'll have a great rest of the week. It looks like our next neighborhood association is Rock Springs Vista 3 Homeowners Association. Welcome, feel free to get settled there and state your name for the record. And when you're ready, you can begin and you'll have 5 minutes, and then we have 5 minutes for questions, okay?
Yeah, how do you do? My name is Robert Freeman. I represent Rock Springs Vista 3. Unfortunately, our president, Karen Crawford, couldn't be here today, so I'll do my very best. Our project is to beautify barren strips of dirt on our property that face Washington Avenue and Cimarron Road with drought-tolerant trees and shrubs. We successfully applied for this funding in 2024 and 2025. Here we see depicted a sweet bay leaf laurel. Our landscapers advised us it would be wise to choose 2 trees, a deciduous tree, which is rather flowery and showy, as well as an evergreen tree, and the sweet bay leaf laurel is our evergreen tree. We also came up with not exactly a design, but it's helpful for our board meetings to explain to our homeowners exactly what we're doing. The homeowners were helpful in selecting the trees, a great deal of discussion, as well as the shrubs. Here we see our streetscape before we had any work done, before we partnered with the City of Las Vegas. 2024's project is in the middle of the screen. The next section was 2025's project, and 2026 is that area on the left and around the corner. On the left, we see the 2 areas that are depicted for the 2026 project, on Washington Avenue and then on Cimarron Road. By increasing the funding, we felt that we could take on 2 different sections and not do 1 section a year. On the right, we see the crepe myrtle tree. This is our deciduous tree and rather flowery. The completed 2024 project for beautification and bus stop seating on Washington Avenue, a street where over 7,000 vehicles pass by daily, includes bus stop seating, which we're happy to do. Prior to this, there was no bus stop. There was no seating for that bus stop. It attracts 34 westbound buses. Our 2025 project, although these are rather young trees and young shrubs, is a vast improvement over what was there before. The 2026 project will be funded with $24,919 from Rock Springs Vista 3, $10,000 from the City of Las Vegas, and $3,200 from a donation from LSK in the reduction of the price of their material, their trees, and so forth. And for what it's worth, I recommend LSK landscapers highly. They work across our 5-acre property. Our water costs have never been less because they find all the irrigation issues and they resolve them. We also expect they're going to make this project look as well as the rest of our community. Here we see Ebbing silverberry on the right. That's one of the shrubs that was selected. The community has benefited, and we can verify this by studies that show a direct correlation between quality landscaping and higher property values, not merely for those who live in the community, but because this is facing the outside of the community, for those who live in the area and have their homes nearby. And here we see iceberg roses, one of the shrubs selected. Improving average to good landscaping, says Clemson University, can result in a 4 to 5% increase in a home's sales price. Landscaping expenditures can bring a recovery value of 100% to 200% to selling time, says Money Magazine. So if you put $500 into landscaping into your property, you might increase your property value by $1,000. And 99% of real estate appraisers concurred that landscaping enhances the sales appeal of real estate. Here we see the blue Mainite salvias. You don't find these around Las Vegas too often, although they are drought tolerant. They're a very pretty tree or plant. They seem to be ignored, which our homeowners they really wanted this one a lot. Now, given the correlation between landscaping and property values, the impact for this project will favorably affect all homes in the neighboring communities. And here we see radiation lantana, and you find that everywhere. Here finally we find yellow bells. They're absolutely beautiful when they're in bloom. Are there any questions?
Thank you so much. This is Chair Becker. I have to say a couple things. First of all, I love that you included the pictures of the plants you're going to do. And across the board, I think they're great choices, except for the crepe myrtle. I put one in my backyard because I'm originally from South Carolina, so I really appreciated your Clemson University quote as well. I would ask them about that because the full sun on the crepe myrtle is going to make them look really dried out, and they would need to put a lot of extra water on them. So that's just my 2 cents about the landscaping. But I really love that you included the neighbors in picking the plants, and the salvia is a really pretty plant as well. So those are just comments, not questions. Does anyone have an actual question? Yes, go ahead.
Good. So for the record, I double, triple support not crepe myrtle. Charleston Boulevard used to be lined with crepe myrtle, and there are 0 now. They do not, it's a lovely plant, but it does not do well in our climate. But the others are, make sure the yellow bells go in the sunniest side of the road. They will be beautiful. They love the heat. My question for you is, so those were comments. My question for you is, you are an HOA, correct?
Yes, we are.
Are any funds coming from your reserve study or operations for the, okay, first of all, was there plant material here before, or is this your first effort on installing plant material along these two venues?
Oh, there was never plants there before. This is our property, on the city's property. It was overlooked by various boards. Planning ahead, we put this into our budget. We have $1.3 million in reserves, and this is one of our reserve projects to do these two.
Will any of those dollars from the reserve be contributed to or matched on this particular project, or our line item?
Well, we're contributing $24,919, so yes.
From the reserves. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions? Member Flank, did you have a question or no?
No, actually,
Oh, okay, perfect. Member Flank says that you answered her question. I had one more comment. I was happy to see that the bus seating worked out for you as well.
Yes.
Because I know that on that road, it's very inaccessible. Public transit's inaccessible because of the light poles. And so to have that be there so that people can get around the light pole and sit down, it's so much safer for folks accessing transit. I really appreciate that you did that because I know that that doesn't necessarily directly impact your residents, but it does improve the life of people who are using the road outside your neighborhood. So I appreciated that. Any other questions? I don't see any. All right, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
All righty, yes, have a great day. Okay, it looks like our next association is Westside Community Neighborhood Association. Welcome. Please feel free to get comfortable there, and if you have any handouts, you can let the city staff know, and they'll make sure that we get them. Excellent. Staff here can hand that out for us. Please feel free to just introduce yourself and get started when you're ready. You'll have 5 minutes to present and then 5 minutes for questions. And we can wait until we get all of the papers.
Good morning. My name is Leonard Martin. I'm a resident of the West Side Neighborhood Association. I'm also the president. My volunteer help is Zachary Freed. This handout that you have in your hand, none of this would be possible without Zach's help. We put long hours into this presentation. Let me give you a zoning of our boundaries. Our boundaries are Jackson Street East to C Street, Jackson Street West to H Street, north of H Street to Orange Street. That's our neighborhood boundaries. Our orientation of our neighborhood beginnings can be tracked back to early 1900s. Nicknames include Old Town, original town site in the area created by J.T. Williams in 1905. The original Las Vegas town site was Las Vegas' first business and residential development and a historical landmark today. Moving right along, a little history. At one time, the West Side was the sole black community, the only area where African Americans could live. This is stated by the director of UNLV's oral history, Clay T. White, former director at UNLV. The historic West Side has faced redlining, segregation, and systematic barriers. In 2026, the neighborhood is going through revitalization efforts, the 100 Plan by the city of Las Vegas, which some people consider gentrification. But we, as the neighborhood association, is trying to give hope to an area there's very little hope in. Request overview. We are planning 3 projects, real simple. We got the information from the revitalization department. You know, they have took in consideration our disabilities and whatnot, and made it able for us to comply with this application. First one would be the neighborhood improvement. Beautification, perennial plants, trash cleanup, minimal landscaping for seniors. Next one would be public safety, neighborhood watch. As you know, we live in an area where it's surrounded by social services and we have a homeless population. Number 3 would be recreation. We want to give we want to give a youth ice cream block party, but we don't want to give it in our boundaries due to the fact I just explained. We are surrounded by neighborhood social services agencies and overrun with homeless. So we want to give it at our new West Las Vegas library, where it can be educational and fun for the youth. We're hoping that we get one youth out of this area that wants to get involved with public service. One youth. You know, it's been strenuous getting the neighbors to the meetings. 30% of our neighborhood now is Hispanic, and they're in fear of coming to the meetings due to the fact of what's going on with the federal government. I can't tell these residents that I can guarantee their safety, but we have devised a way to communicate with them through text messages and in Espanol language in our newsletters. Moving right along. Neighborhood improvements, as you can see on the handout, we live in an area that is considered and diagnosed as being urban heated islands. No grass, very little trees. So with the asphalt, if it's 110 outside, it's 118, 119 degrees in my neighborhood. We want to do that with the perennials and try to bring some beautification also to the neighborhood. We live in a toxic area. We're surrounded by I-15 North, which toxic fumes come off there. The city has a program that free trees. We try to get our neighbors and the owners of these properties to consider that as an option. Also moving right along. Neighborhood safety. If you go around through our neighborhood, as I do boots on the ground, door-to-door campaigns, you'll see a lot of people look like they're locked into these properties. Big locks, chains around their front fences, you know, dogs running in your front yard where you're supposed to enjoy beautification at. Why is that? We want to put a stop to that. We want our neighbors to know each other, so with this neighborhood safety program, we are going to go around and we're going to designate every third block, we're going to designate a supervisor of the neighborhood safety program that will give out a monthly report. They will be equipped with vests, flashlights, no books to take notes, and also a number to call the Metropolitan Police Department non-emergency, and report back to the Neighborhood Association monthly so we can turn that information, that data over to the city revitalization program and be in compliance. Youth Ice Cream Day. You know, we have a lot of youth in our community that are stuck in, shut in. Currently, many neighbors are unfamiliar with each other. At the community level, we will create a more unity with the free event, 90 to 100 guests, array of different ice cream products, all currently A-rated health permits, insurance, and mobile fees will be included in this event. As we move along, you have in that handout some of the information to all these events, all the supplies, all the businesses that will be involved at this point. We might have to change that because businesses come and go, you know what I'm saying? Prices raise with the war going on and everything. It's hard to get certain merchandise in, so we put in stipulations just to make us a cushion for that. Okay, as we move along, we're requesting $3,000, minimum $2,600 for the 3 projects. We currently have 174 hours pledged between 9 volunteers. We have support and well wishes from residents who live in the North Las Vegas and elsewhere. Our association would be grateful for the service of the Neighborhood Grant Fund. We have worked tirelessly to prepare this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is Chair Becker. I would like to make the note that your volunteer match is 4 times what it has to be, and that's really commendable. So I'm really glad to see so much participation from your neighbors. Are there any questions from board members? Go ahead, Member Estrada.
Member Estrada here. I had a question. You said you were going to have the event at another location. You said it wasn't going to be in your community, or did I misunderstand you?
I was speaking in terms of the youth ice cream social.
Right.
As I mentioned ahead of that, our neighborhood is surrounded by social service agencies who attend to the homeless. Our neighborhoods are overrun with the homeless. So if I get this social out in my neighborhood, which would be attended by most folks who don't even live in my community, I got a problem. So we have a new West Side Library that just opened up. A lot of my neighbors haven't even been up there yet. And for the youth, it would be spectacular, educational, and environment of safety. That's where I would like to get the event at, if we possibly could.
I see. Well, thank you, and thank you for all your work in the community.
Thank you.
Member Goodsell, I'm way down here. Go left. Make a left at the light. This is very impressive. Well done on the graphics and the presentation. Just going, is there a way you can go back to screen 1 where it shows your boundaries for me? How many signs do you have for the Neighborhood Watch included? My question is that enough Neighborhood Watch signs for your section that you're considering?
I'll let Zach answer that question.
All right, Zach.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good morning. When we basically between like, I'm trying to remember the vendor specifically, but it's like with the National Neighborhood Watch Institute, they have like a pack that comes with, I think like 7 to 9 signs we put in the application. So I think my goal was, between every few blocks or something, we could help put like a sign, trying to get like the full perimeter. But also we put in the budget for equipment like flashlights and clipboards and stuff for people to take notes. So I feel like just in general, I don't know how much a sign can like protect a community, but I think if we have enough with volunteers who are actively watching and talking to local law enforcement, hopefully it'd be enough. I mean, I think in general we wanted to keep the budget very minimum to just sort of get the ball rolling with this type of application.
I appreciate that. The signs really do make a big difference. That's why I was wondering if you feel like you have adequate signs for what you are trying to accomplish, or would more be more helpful.
Let me adjust that. The Neighborhood Revitalization Department broke down the boundaries, and we have 80 single family homes in our boundaries. Most of them are not single family homes. They are one bedroom, studio bedrooms. They are renters, of that nature.
Thank you for that. Member Flank?
Member Flank, quick question. Do you intend to work with Metro to get this neighborhood watch program up and working and kind of creating a relationship with them to also help? I had a note about your kit, and it looks like there were 10 that shows in the kit. But you'll probably need more than that, considering he just said 80 homes. But I think it'd be a good idea to work with Metro, and they can advise, because they're the ones that actually kind of oversee the neighborhood watch programs and provide the assistance to the volunteers that are actually, the ones that are watching.
Yeah, part of my thought process when we were putting it together is last year I'd gone to work with someone who has done like a Clark County GIT and like a youth intervention program for many years. His name's Alex Bernal. So I have a few connections to people like Alex who go to the different rec centers in the community, like the Pearson Center, Doolittle, and that we do have a few officers who regularly do community events with the youth or with neighbors. So I, as of this time, haven't spoken with that, those sort of Metro officers, but I know that they're present, and we would have that support.
Yeah, that would be Bolden Area Command that for that section of town. Now, I have to say, well, I don't have to say, but I know the community. My family came here in the early 50s, and they lived on the west side on Adams. It was the street that I grew up on. So I commend you guys for taking the initiative to try and revitalize the community. So I appreciate your efforts for sure. I think that's all I have.
All right. Any other questions from board members? Go
I'd
ahead.
like to add something, Member Iturralde. I support Member Flank's comments as far as encouraging you all to continue collaborating, and it sounds like having Metro involved would be something good for your area. Only thing I would encourage also, since I know you've applied many times, but I would encourage you to go ahead and add some graffiti spray removal because in working in the community and we get signs up, I'm always excited about them, and then they get graffitied really fast. But keeping those clean makes a difference. When you let those get ugly and stay ugly, then people think nobody's paying attention. So keeping them clean is going to be helpful, and it's not too much more expensive. I would also suggest block captains for each block, just to help you maintain the area and build a better communication network. But I love it too. I'm fond of the west side.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Member Flank. Last thing I'd like to say, I think it's a good idea about the ice cream social to be at the West Las Vegas Library. Actually, I haven't been there yet. Shame on me. I really should go and check it out. I've heard a lot of great things about it. And it does give youth an opportunity to see some of the things that have actually happened in the community. So when, of course, the library is just a few blocks away from this location. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be that's a good suggestion.
Yeah,
have it
and
there.
I mean, with their grand opening, they had so much space for vendors and things. I think we'll have plenty of space to do it in the parking lot. I mean, there's a few parking lots that surround it anyways,
Yes.
so
Yes. Thank you.
thank you.
All right, any other questions? Everybody good? Thank you so much again for your time, and we will see you on the 20th.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
thanks. All right, we have gotten to our last presenter. We've got Winchester Homeowners Association. Welcome. If you do have handouts, staff can get some to us. Yeah, okay, I think they have some handouts. And then feel free to get comfortable there at the desk. And when you're comfortable, you can introduce yourselves and begin when you're ready. You'll have 5 minutes to present and then 5 minutes for questions. But we can wait a minute until we all have the handout.
That's bad. Good morning, board, panel, and associates. My name is Alan Dale Humphreys, and I'm the president of Winchester Condo HOA. Today, I would like to introduce our vice president. Her name is Kathy Swanson, who has taken the lead in developing and preparing this presentation. Kathy has dedicated a great deal of time and effort to bring together on behalf of our community. I am pleased to turn the floor over to Kathy so she may lead us through the details and our vision of the presentation that she has put together. Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. Good morning, everyone. I'm looking forward to walking you through what we've been working on. First, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the City of Las Vegas and its board members for accepting our application and considering our community for the Neighborhood Partners Fund grant. So, and here we go. Come on in, we've been expecting you. And flowers can turn a plain entrance into a warm and welcoming space. It's a small touch, but makes a big difference. This is the kind of welcome everyone deserves to come home to. What a difference lighting and flowers could make. I can only imagine coming home to something like this. This is the same space, but it's a different story. Right here, we have the same space telling two completely different stories. One's empty, one's full of life. Which one feels like home? No more signs, just a peaceful, welcoming entrance. You can have that by day, by night. As you can see, signs, signs, everywhere signs. Please, no more signs. We've invested $11,000 in lighting to make our community safer and more energy efficient. With the grant's help, our solar lighting ideas would take that commitment even further. So we have put in floodlights just recently, and we've also put carport lamps in to go along with the lighting for our community. I want to point out why our trees were removed, and now we urgently need replanting to provide relief from summer heat and help reduce our residents' energy costs. We had tree roots that were breaking our irrigation lines, cracking our walls, and actually entering our homes through the bathroom commodes. In protecting what we have, we lost something just as important, our shade. So all our trees that were taken out, we lost a lot of shade. Our homes directly where the sun's hitting, it's unbearable heat. I experience it myself in my condo. And also the irrigation lines, as you can see, as we go forward here, the flooding and the damage the roots have caused. We have leaks, the tree roots at work turning our irrigation lines into waterfalls, one leak at a time. And this is just the tip of the iceberg here. We have leaks everywhere, almost on a daily basis. It's like really horrendous to come home and see, flooded areas. So we really need to address that. And also it affects, our landscaping costs. It affects power bills, plumbing issues. Making smarter tree choices will protect our irrigation, plumbing, and our budget. When that sun turns up, that's proof that too much sun is expensive. So we really need to bring on that shade. And all I can say is trees. That's our big issue. If we only had some trees. Shade from trees will keep our homes cool and our bills a lot lower. So these are 2 homes here without trees. I just took a couple pictures to show you. So shade's not an extra. It's basically, it's essential. It's really something that we need. These are the same homes that you just saw recently without the trees. So this is, I say, a picture's worth 1,000 words, what these trees could do for our neighborhood. Okay, investing in solar lighting, shade, and landscaping will make our neighborhood thrive, reduce costs for our friends and neighbors. And investing in solar lighting, trees, and landscaping will transform our community and enhance safety, reducing costs and creating a cooler, more livable environment for our residents. More shade, less heat, no root issues. And you can meet some of our neighbors here. I took a few pictures of some of the folks in the neighborhood just to show you out on their patios, trying to get away from the sun. So it's a beautiful day in our neighborhood, just people sitting out and enjoying the weather. And of course, I always feel like there's no place like home. So they bike in, they come by wagon. So there's no place like home. Our patios are like fingerprints. No 2 are alike, and some are extra colorful, and some speak louder than words. So as you can see, from cozy to comfortable, this is home. Every patio tells a story. In our neighborhood, everybody has their own little way of decorating and bringing our neighborhood to life. See, there they come. They're coming in too. While we come together to solve challenges in our community, we also come together to celebrate it. Our community isn't just about working towards solutions. It's about connection, laughter, and making memories together. As the song goes, we are family, and we certainly are in Winchester. We do celebrate a lot in our community. Our 4th of July, our people getting together, our Christmas parties. Our neighbors are always coming together and enjoying the holidays with each other. Santa came this year, came in with a big loud ho, ho, ho. The kids loved it. I was so glad we were able to do that for them. And of course, we have our decorating contest every year, and there's our first prize winner. So our goal was to share our story in a way that's fun and informative. We hope our story was engaging and helped convey the importance of our community's needs. This is a little slow, sorry. Our community's little worker bees turning plans into reality, teamwork into action. These busy bees get things done. We were on clock, and it was ticking down, and we were trying so hard to get done and get everything into everyone, but I'm happy to say we did make it. And these are some of our board members and a couple of our neighbors that were out helping getting things ready for the grant. So, thank you everyone on the board for taking the time to listen to our presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. We're looking forward to having some support with our community. Our people in the community will be helping to do a lot. And hopefully, with your support, we'll be able to achieve some of our goals.
You're all done. Thank you so much.
Thank you all, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for all the hard work you put into this. This is Chair Becker for the record. I'm looking at your landscape quote, and I see the word oleander in here. My question about that is, do you have existing oleanders? Are they planning to remove them? Are you putting in new oleanders?
We do have oleander along the wall. We're not putting in any more oleander.
Okay. The reason I ask is because they might be contributing to your root problems. They're really invasive. They do get really big and create, some shade. I would suggest not keeping them. I see that in this section, in their quote, they're actually talking about giving them fertilizer. I would highly suggest not doing that because they will get huge and their root systems are really invasive. If they could change your quote to give you something that is, it doesn't have to be native to the desert, but that is better for the desert environment, because the oleanders here, they just suck up all the water from other plants and they go find it anywhere and they break into pipes and stuff. Some of the trees do as well, but I would really suggest not having oleanders. And if you do have sections of existing oleanders, having them replace them maybe with some 15-gallon trees.
That's one of the things we're looking into. The trees were more our issue closer to the buildings. They had taken out, I don't know how many pine trees, because they came through. I mean, I was one that it came right through the bathroom, and it was awful. So yeah, we did take out quite a few trees, and we wanted to replace those for shade, for those areas.
Yeah, because in the past, a lot of landscapers did pine trees, oleanders, and a couple other kinds of trees that just weren't meant to be in the desert, and that's kind of what happened when
Thank
we
you
had
for
all
the
of those.
point about the oleander, though. We will talk to our landscaper about that. Thank
But
you.
other than that, everything looks good, and I love that you have the LED lighting as well. That's going to save on energy, replacing lights with LED lights. Any other questions from board members? Member Tramp?
Small, are you a Matthew Tramp here for the record, are you a 55 and older community, or?
No, we're
Okay.
not. No, we're not.
Member Goodsell, for the record, I'm way down here. You are an HOA, correct?
Correct.
Do you have funds that you will be using for this to match from your reserve studies for any of this?
We will be using as much money as we possibly can to get the whole project done. If we have to add to it, yes, we will be.
Okay.
And there are other items that we didn't even mention that we are going to be taking care of also.
Okay. And then if you are really set on oleanders, they do make a dwarf oleander now, but to Chairman's point, there are other options. A really good option is a bay laurel. It can be a tree or a bush, very non-invasive root system. It's more columnal, so it doesn't spread out, provides nice shade as well. And blueberries, depending upon how much, Japanese blueberries are another good consideration. Depending upon their location, they can, up against a hot wall, they could get scorched in the summer, but they are non-invasive as well. Might be good considerations. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I? We've had a couple of walkarounds with our landscapers. Very ideal outfit, and they have gave us ideas on here or there and this and that. So they'll be working with us very stringent on new phase of our future of what we see, so we don't come across the past problems and the leaks and things like that that other people now in our community are concerned about as well. So thank you for that moment.
Well, we appreciate everyone on the board for taking the time to watch our presentation. We hope that you enjoyed hearing and seeing our vision and plans for the Winchester community. Thank you and have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. I think one more member
Was
has
there
a
one?
question.
Oh, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
it's okay. I'm over here. Quick question.
Right here?
About
Okay.
the no parking sign. Where is this no parking sign?
The signs are all over our gates, and then we have, we created a new welcome type sign. I think it shows in the one island there, you can see it there, because we want to put a solar light under it, and it puts all the information on that for the community. Is that what you're referring to?
Well, I'm looking at the
Oh, I'm sorry.
Titan Construction
I know what you're talking
Services.
about. There was a couple areas in our community that we needed to put a couple no parking signs because they were loading zones and people were parking there. So we wanted to, 'cause the residents, where we had older residents, it was easier for them to pull up there and be able to unload whatever they had. So people started parking even with the striped lines. So we wanted to get a few no parking signs in those areas to allow, you know, the people to have access to when they needed it.
Okay, so the property, would that be on private property? I'm trying to understand where the no parking sign would be, because we have in the past, the city installed, you know, different kinds of signs, so it depends upon if it's private property or not.
It is private property.
Okay.
We were told a few things that we wanted to accomplish that we couldn't get help with because we are private property.
Okay.
Like the painting of the curbs and fire hydrants and things. So that's something that we're going to take on. That's one of our projects that we're going to be doing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Member Estrada, do you have a question?
Yes, Board Member Estrada, I had a question regarding the in-kind donation. Who is Winchester Maintenance Corp? Is that your HOA or?
Yes.
Okay, so that's just labor, is that what that is, or?
From the HOA?
Yeah, what the donation is?
They were actually going to donate a couple $100, they said, towards whatever we needed. If we needed anything extra, they said they would make, you know, a donation.
Well, you have that $778.43 that's listed as a in-kind amount.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm looking at the right one?
Joaska Icabal-Zeta with
know our-
Neighborhood Services. So when speaking with the association, so the total project cost is over the $10,000 asked. It's $10,778.43, and they were going to pay the difference of $778.43, and so that's considered a cash contribution, which why it's under the donations part.
I
Okay.
forgot about that, I'm sorry.
And that should be on attachment 3, a donor pledge letter. So we're requesting that, please.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Perfect. Okay, so with that, that's just one document that you can submit to Neighborhood Services, and then
Okay.
they'll upload it for us.
Okay.
All right, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate everyone's time.
I appreciate you coming out. So that concludes item 4 on the agenda, but I wanted to make sure everyone on the board is aware, our deliberation meeting is on April 20th. That's going to be at 1 p.m. In the past, these meetings, we haven't had to have that much discussion about how are we going to figure out the budget. This year, because we have 20 different organizations asking for money and we only have $80,000 to give out, we're going to have a much more substantial conversation about how we are deciding who to give money to and the specific amounts per organization. So that's something at that meeting that we will have to decide as a board. But what I would say is to make it as easy as possible, please be sure to score all of the applications beforehand and to give neighborhood services time. If you see something that's missing, please just email Yohaska and ask her to have them submit it so that when we do go into deliberations, we have all the information because we're not going to have time to then collect it after that. And then I would say think about coming with an idea of what your idea is for how we as a group can decide what we're funding, because when we score them all, neighborhood services will put together a sheet that has an average of all of our scores so that we will get a handout that shows who scored the highest and down to the lowest. But we get to decide as a board how to use those scores and how to allot the $80,000. So come excited. Oh, are you here for public comment? That's our next section. Okay, hold on one moment. Let me introduce public comment.
I'm new, so I don't know how the protocol goes, but I don't want to.
Oh, perfect. I'll introduce public comment and then you can come to the table. Okay, thank you. So I think that closes out for agenda item 5 is citizens participation. This is our public comment period. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the board. No subject may be acted upon by the board unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion of any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. So please feel free to introduce yourself for public comment.
First name Edward, last name Jacobs. My company is Jack Rabbit Transportation, LLC. First of all, excuse my attire. I'm leaving one business, coming to see you guys. I don't really know how I really got into West Side Group, and then again I do. So I'm gonna make this real quick. William McCurdy, I gave them a call because I wanted to get some grant money, and they told me that they would call me back. Well, 15 minutes later, checking out my credentials and where I live, they called me right back to say I was on the up and up. I've been living in West Las Vegas for 69 years. I've been having a logistics business for 8 years. Now, I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm not gonna speak racism. I'm speaking the truth. By me living in Las Vegas for 72 years, that project that was done where New J is, I also do installs. There was not one minority on that business. The reason I know that, because anytime there's a contracting trailer, that's when I go do my proposal, talk to them. Okay, I go in, it's a 24-year-old Hispanic guy, and even if I did get the contract, they're gonna sabotage me as many times they can, and I don't blame them. Everybody's speaking Spanish, I don't speak Spanish, okay? But those projects, I don't know how I can get in. I really don't. And the reason I think Mr. McCurdy called me, my brother-in-law is Mr. Brunson, my sister Janet Brunson. Brenda Flink, she may know who my sister is because, like I said, my sister big time evangelist. So that's one reason they called me back. So like I said, I'm trying my best to, all these projects are going on. The library, I could deliver to the library. I can't get no foothold point blank on how to even get a grant. And when I do, like I said, I am so amazed that they even called me back and put me in the West Side Group. Like I said, I know about protocol. I'm handicapped. My very first contract was with the government, okay? Well, with the government. But at that time, we wasn't ready. And this is very funny. I can make this quick. They give us a contract moving 4 tons of dirt in Detroit. They're gonna get us excavators and dump trucks. I don't know anything about no excavator, so I had to leave that. Right now, like I said, I have a portfolio out of this world. I do Nike, I do Gallagher, I do Five Below. I want to be able, and like I said, I register where I live. That's where my company comes out. I want to know what I can do instead of making phone calls and people say they're gonna do this, that, and the other, and they throw it in the garbage can. I've done feasibility studies. I did business plans. One thing I already know about business, you never want to go into business with a half a glass of wine. If you can't get a bottle to get drunk, don't do it. So I've used my money. Okay, I've always been understanding, do not use your money to be in business. So that's why I'm here to figure out, can I get a package? Can I get a grant? And what do I have to do to get that package and to provide that grant? I hope I didn't ramble on. I hope I didn't go too fast. Like I said, I only got 5 minutes. This is my first rodeo. I've never been in front of you guys. And like I say, I'm amazed that they would send this to me and put me in the West Side group. But evidently they checked out and know where I stay. They know my credentials, and that's what it was sent to me. So I'm gonna shut up and let you listen.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to check with Neighborhood Services or legal. So with Neighborhood Partners Fund Board, I know that you mentioned Commissioner McCurdy, but this is a city board, so I don't know if that's something that we can handle unless you're asking specifically to be involved with West Side Community Association and their grant.
To me, miss, it doesn't matter if it's city or county. I don't care. Okay. I just want to be in the parade.
Okay, let me check with legal about any guidance we could give.
Deputy City Attorney Chris Levy-Gallagher, for the record. I'm not necessarily sure the address that he's referring to or where the business is located. But if you can provide at least that information, we can at least see if it's in the city's limits or the county.
Come back again, I didn't hear it exactly.
Can you specify what the address is? I guess it's for your business you're looking for grants?
505 Frederick. I'm in the zone. I live on D Street, off of D Street.
Is Councilman McCurdy your representative?
I would think so, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then it sounds like that is the county. The city limits are different from the county limits,
Okay.
so that most likely any grants that you're looking to receive would be through the county, which is just up the street.
Okay. So I cannot apply for a grant within the city because I stay in the county. I must do it within the county. I'm trying to get an understanding.
From my understanding, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I believe that's Ward 5. That address on Frederick?
I can say it again.
Your address is on Frederick?
Yes.
It's in Ward 5.
It's in Ward 5.
As far as the city is concerned, that's Ward 5.
Okay.
Councilwoman Summers Armstrong.
Okay. I don't know if we want to route him to Ward 5's department. Okay, so one option you have is contacting the councilwoman here in the city of Las Vegas whose ward you are in based on the address you provided. So that's going to be Councilwoman and Summers Armstrong, and they'll be able to assist you with providing additional information as far as what grants you might be able to be eligible for.
Okay.
And do you need that information?
Will that be emailed to me? Will that be, do I need to provide my email? How will they get back in contact?
Member Trevino, for the record, sir. So just to understand, you're looking for funds for your business.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this board right now,
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
the Neighborhood Partners Fund,
Okay.
which we provide. People have to apply many months ago.
Okay.
And you have to get approved, and this is like HOAs or neighborhood associations.
Okay.
And this money, if it gets approved, we give it to them just to do I don't know, lining or trees or things like that. It has nothing to do with businesses.
Okay, all right.
So just so you know.
Okay.
Depending where you live, the city does have business licensing, or we do have EUD, which is economic urban development, that you can talk to see if there's any grants that the city can give you for your business. This is not the money we're giving right now. If we're giving any, this is not for businesses. Okay. I don't know what they sent you here, but it's okay. Depending where you live, we can see if it's part of the city, or not where you live, where your business is.
Okay.
It can be the city, it can be the county. We have different we have different areas.
Right.
It's kind of like the state, right? We have Las Vegas, we have Reno, we have different jurisdictions, and the county and the city work differently. So depending where you are, we'll see who can help you.
Okay.
What if we do this? What if you give us your contact information,
Yes, ma'am.
and we can write me your name, your
Okay.
number, and your
Okay.
address, and we'll figure where you at,
Okay.
and go from there. What about that?
Give it to this lady right here.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much.
I was nervous. I'm okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. I can't write. I'm crippled.
All right, seeing no one else for public comment,
First name Edward.
I think I can close out agenda item 5 and move on to adjournment. So this meeting is now adjourned.